Stephanie
Hi,
Giuliani.
Julia.
Oh, Stephanie Morgan.
Stephanie Morgan works.
Do you have your surgery scheduled?
He had it.
How? Oh, you look great.
We're on live now, Sharon.
Okay.
Hit the
You feel
hit
good?
button.
He's doing very well.
Good. I'm having a procedure on Thursday. So hopefully my leg will be better because my back will be better.
You laugh, but you're live and being broadcast.
That's okay. I don't care.
All right. This program is not just about wine, it's about life and everything. I'm going to roll the opening credits and then we'll get into the discussion.
I don't know.
Okay, so
Okay.
good evening.
There we go.
Oh. Okay, let me get rid of that. Okay, let me get. Okay, sorry about that. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't. Good evening. It's virtual wine tasting in the era of post-coronavirus. It is March 18th, 2024. Tonight we begin a series, what did I just say, 11 weeks of Santa Cruz Mountains AVA. And even though it's, except for one exception, it's one big AVA, I've broken it into separate parts. So tonight we are covering Santa Cruz, Capitola, Soquel region. I am your host, David Mayer, the wino snob of Wine is Life. And tonight's tasting panel looks a lot like this. Or a lot like this.
Here comes Eric.
So we'll go
on
around the room and introduce, and you know the routine. Go ahead, take it away, Nan and Scott.
Scott and Nan from Waynesburg, Ohio, and we're non-compliant tonight, and we're drinking. I forget. Went Chardonnay that was left over from a couple weeks ago.
Wente.
Wente.
Oh,
okay.
Wente. Okay.
Wente to you too.
And did you say where you're from?
Yes.
You did? Okay, sorry. I
just north of Pittsburgh.
He's funny.
We'll go around to, so we'll hit Bill and Dorothy.
We are Bill and Dorothy from Fairfield, California, and we are compliant tonight. We're drinking a Bargetto.
Wonderful.
2021 Pinot, 13.5% alcohol, grown, produced, and bottled by Bargetto, which must make it an estate wine. It says pomegranate, cherry, and spices, and the label is retro from their 1940s operation. They started in 1933.
Okay.
And it says we should have pomegranate, cherry, and spice. And we'll see. The preliminary tasting is okay, and I'm not a Pinot drinker, as you guys know.
Excellent. We'll hop down to Karen.
Okay, Karen's non-compliant as usual. I'm having a Irish coffee.
Oh, yummy, with Bailey's in it.
You liked it so much last week.
Except for this week, I put decaf because Eric was right. It kept me awake last week. Decaf, which I've never drink decaf. I'm from this week. I'm from Hayward, California. Going to be here for another week.
Okay, excellent. Stephanie, she bounces back and forth from coast to coast.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm going to go north for a couple weeks, and then I'm going to coast to coast.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, but yeah, all the time, back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth. Sharon, you want to talk about yourself?
Yeah, talk about yourself.
Sure, I'd love to talk about myself. I'm pretty awesome today, you know. I live in Los Gatos, and this is my husband, Eric. Not only am I a wife, a grandmother, a sister, a daughter, a friend, and I'm also a person that works in the tech. I'm sorry, you didn't want to hear about me. Anyway, we live in Los Gatos. This is Eric. I'm Sharon. Yes, I'm hyper because it's tax season and I'm drinking water.
Oh,
Thank you for letting us join you.
is the water from the Santa Cruz Mountains?
No, it's from a triple filtered,
Oh,
refrigerator.
I
Oh,
thought
we have
maybe
a
it's from
special
the
filter
Lexington
underneath the sink.
Reservoir.
It goes to the refrigerator that has another filter in it. So everything good and bad is filtered out.
If anyone would like something free from Costco, because I didn't order this, but I got it, just let me know and I'll ship it to you.
Oh, you know what? We eat that all the time.
Yeah,
It's
David.
organic.
that-
That's
brown
exactly
quinoa
brown
with
rice and
garlic.
quinoa.
Quinoa.
Yeah, we
Brown
get that
rice
all the
with garlic.
time.
Sounds like crack.
I know, that's why we didn't order it.
I normally go last, but I'm going to go next. Wait. Oh, sorry. Suspected spam. I'm going to go next and I'll let our guest go last. So I'm David Mayer from Fremont, California. I have a compliant wine, but I'm not drinking, as many of you know, until this Lent thing is over. But I have a beautiful bottle from the Soquel Vineyards in Soquel region of
David, Soquel.
is it Soquel? Is that right? Am I saying it wrong, Stephanie? Soquel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I meant to ask you, how do you actually pronounce?
We told you last week, David.
Oh.
Soquel.
That's supposed to remember.
Have some patience.
I have no patience.
I got this wine from the source. The person on my screen anyway, just below me, was kind enough to ship me a half case of their wine. So I will be having that later on. And that brings us to our guest appearance this evening. Take it
Hi,
away.
everyone. I feel
Hello.
like I've actually
Hey.
met a lot of you at some point because I used to work with David. And I'm sure that I've probably come across you at Inglenook once or twice. Especially if you stayed back in the Cowborn or something, or David graced you in one of these wonderful tastings. But I'm Stephanie. I currently live in Soquel. It's a hard K because it's named after the indigenous tribe that lived here. But I'm born and raised Soquelite. I grew up on my great-grandfather's property that I still live on now. I live adjacent to my parents, which is really fun. But I work for the family business now, which is Soquel Vineyards, which I'm drinking now. I don't have the bottle because Danny filled me up and then walked out with it. But I'm drinking a Severia Vineyard Pinot Noir. So that's Corletus region, but it's very tasty. It's a riper style of Pinot. You're going to find that with the Corletus wines, or I'm sure David will touch on that they can be a little bit riper. But I'm very excited to be drinking with you guys tonight. So thank you for having me. Cheers to you guys.
Cheers. So you grew up
Cheers.
you grew up in Soquel?
I did. Yeah, I grew up here. And
So
then
you're familiar with Castellano's?
oh yeah. Yeah, certainly. Yeah,
So my parents owned a place just down the road up the hill up there. And I spent a lot of time there when I was growing up. I mean, it was a mile or 2 miles away from it, but
yeah.
that place was famous in the 60s and 70s. And
Oh yeah. Still super popular.
of
I
course,
hear. Yeah, it's
it's a landmark, right?
right. Yeah. It's the only stop in like 3 or 4 miles from town. So that makes sense.
And actually the first, when Sharon and I met, we trained for our first marathon, which was the Summit Marathon, which ran from Los Gatos High School to Soquel High School.
Whoa, that's really cool. Wow, that's a long way.
Well, it's 26.2 miles is a marathon. And it was great because like at mile 24, 25 is where the graveyard is. So you're like already dead and you're just running by.
And it's finally uphill.
Yeah, slightly uphill.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow. That's so cool. Wonderful. Well, a little bit about the Santa Cruz Mountains, just to kind of give you guys an overview in your coming into your next 11 weeks. We've been an established AVA since 1981. It's a pretty vast AVA. As David said, there's only one official sub-appellation of it, and that is Ben Lomond Mountain. but it's kind of broken into like 7 subsections a little bit. You have the Skyline section, which is the furthest north. You're going into like kind of the Saratoga Los Gatos, the summit where the Loma Prieta summit is. That's the highest peak of the Santa Cruz Mountains. That's at, I believe, like 3,700 feet. And then we have like the coastal foothills, which we're in. We have the Ben Lomond Mountain, which is that sub-AVA. And then you have the Pleasant Valley Corlitas area, which is pretty prominent for Santa Cruz Mountain Pinot Noir. But Santa Cruz Mountains kind of just is a little bit under the radar with wine in kind of comparison to Sonoma and Napa and Paso. We've been in Appalachian for a long time. We've been growing grapes for a long time, making great wine. But it's very much a local driven market. And a lot of the producers here in town like to source from local vineyards and grape growers as well. So it really just stays within the community. But it's incredibly vast. You have the coastal side of it, which is very cool coastal climates. We never really get too far above 80 degrees here, maybe a couple weeks throughout the year, but nothing much. We get those foggy mornings and we get those afternoon burn-offs. So it's great for growing cooler climate grapes, Pinot, Chard. But then on the inland side, you have kind of the Saratoga area, a little bit further north. You might be familiar with Ridge. They're famous for making their Montebello cab. That is like, I think that's probably the most popular winery in the Santa Cruz Mountains would be Ridge. Second to that would probably be Mount Eden, which is known for Chardonnays and a little bit of Pinot Noirs. But likewise, they grow great Cabernet too. And then just further south of us, going into the Corlitas area, that's pretty prime Pinot country. But they can also grow a little bit of Sauvignon Blanc down there, really green, austere styles. And more recently, Cabernet Franc has been getting really popular down there too. But you guys will touch on that and everything. As far as the Soquel, Capitola, this little quadrant of it, it's pretty small. It's very small, actually. Soquel Vineyards is the only commercial grape growing vineyard in the entire town region of Soquel, Capitola here. There is another vineyard up Old San Jose Road. They don't really sell out their fruit too much. It's kind of a new budding winery. They don't have a bond yet. They're not a bonded winery yet. They're just kind of doing it under the table. But then you have Bargettos, which is just quite physically is across the street from where I am right now. And they have been in business since the 30s. They are the longest or the oldest winery in the whole Santa Cruz appellation. Somebody's drinking it tonight, I saw.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, perfect. It's a great winery. Oddly enough, my mother works for them. So I'm very, very familiar with their wines. There's a little bit of collusion in my family. My dad and I work for the family business. My mother works for them. But they make exceptional wines. They're still family owned by the Bargetto. They just hired their 8th winemaker in their history. They make a lot of different wines. They make the retro label, which is that Pinot Noir that you guys are drinking. And then they make their classic label, which is a little higher end. And then they make their La Vita label, which is an Italian specific style wine. Their estate vineyard actually is in Corlitas. The Regan Vineyard is their estate vineyard. And so they don't have any vineyards on site per se, but it's a really beautiful facility. They've been doing a great job forever. My dad is in partners with 2 of the Bargetto cousins. So they've kind of been intertwined in this business all throughout its history. So it's been really, really exciting to be a part of that and to, come up with them. But our appellation is very small and it's very special to us. And you guys are all really close. So most of you are very close. So you guys have probably explored this appellation a little bit, I would assume. David,
I've never been there. I know.
And that's kind of a good example of like, you're not far from here. You're probably an hour and a half to the beach here. And it's really, it just stays within the community. So kind of a little bit about Soquel Vineyards. We've been in business since 1987. It was founded by my father, John Morgan, and his 2 best friends who happen to be twins, Peter and Paul. So it's very biblical startings. Peter, Paul, and John decided to start a winery. And they both worked, 3 of them worked at Bargetto's and then said, you know what, I think we can do this for ourselves. The funny part of the story is there was 12 wineries in town at the time. and they didn't think there was room for one more. Now there's about 45 wine tasting rooms, virtual wineries, and brick and mortar wineries
Wow.
in the county now. So we started just at the right time, but each one of the partners has had kind of a different play in our business. My dad has definitely been into a little bit more of the winemaking side of it, and now kind of later in the business, the vineyard management side of it too. Paul has been mainly in the production side as well, and then Peter's always business. And they still run and operate the winery today. They brought in the kids now, so me and another partner's son is been running it a little bit for the last year or so. So it's been really fun to do it. We've been very grateful that our business has been so successful. They've had a huge following from early on, but they started by making significantly Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and then Cabernet, a little bit from the Santa Cruz Mountains and a little bit from the Stag's Leap district in Napa. That wine actually became very, very famous. Our 1987, our first vintage, our 1987 Cabernet Sauvignon actually was awarded one of the distinctive holes in the Pebble Beach Commemorative Series in '89. So they picked 18 wines from all over the state to go into this series where every hole you went to, you tried a new wine, and they picked our Cabernet. So that put us on the map pretty quick, which was great. But ever since then, we've just been trying to produce the best wines that we can with this idea of sense of place for the Santa Cruz Mountains, mainly with Pinot Noir. And that's how we've gotten really popular. So it went from started in just a garage winery, and then up to just a couple yards up the road from that original location. They bought a 5-acre property, planted 3 acres of it to Pinot Noir, which is our estate vineyard, and then built a big, beautiful winery. And so today our production is just around 7,000 cases, but it's mostly 2 single vineyard Pinot Noirs that we make, small lot, single vineyards. David's got the estate. We've sourced a lot from Corlitis and then a little bit from the Ben Lomond Mountain AVA. But you get very different ranges in those. So with the Ben Lomond Mountain AVA Pinot Noir that we make, we get something that's much more Burgundian in style. It's earthy, it's light bodied, it's really beautifully high in acidity, and it ages well. Soquel's kind of the middle ground. It's kind of the Goldilocks point until you reach the Corlitis area, which are these big, robust kind of Russian River styles of Pinot Noir that are a little bit more fruit forward, softer, rounder. And so having Soquel as our little Goldilocks point, it's just really, I think it's the most beautiful Pinot that we make year after year, because it has all of those wonderful balances between the earthiness and the fruitiness, between really, really big, bold kind of body and mouthfeel to something that has a really crisp, bright finish, where you can have it with pretty much anything as far as food goes, and nothing as far as food goes either. So yeah, that's kind of my synopsis of the Santa Cruz Mountains. Did I miss anything? Does anybody have any questions?
And what's your degree in marketing?
Did a great job.
My degree is in baking and pastry, oddly enough.
Oh, really?
She's a professional chef as well.
Yeah. Sounded like you were in marketing. So.
So you've convinced us we need to come visit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was going to say, besides being a little knowledgeable in wine, she's a professional, trained chef, and she does hold the advanced WSET in wines and spirits. So she's quite accomplished for a young lady.
Amen.
And one of my favorite people in the 20 years I've been at Inglenook. Enjoyed working with you.
Kind. Yeah, I like to think of myself as a professional consumer, because I just really
There
love
we go. We're working on it.
it. Comes naturally, I think, the enjoyment.
So we have a song. Do you feel up to singing, Stephanie? I was kind of joking, but if you,
I mean, listen, I have no voice, but I'm here. I'm present. So
Stephanie's
welcome.
gonna sing for us?
Let's go.
I think so.
Woohoo!
Yay.
And this is
is it not like a group effort? Is it not like a
No.
No,
No.
it is a group effort. One person sings and the rest listen to them.
Oh yeah, that's
We
group
tried the group
effort.
thing though. 4 or
Usually
5 years ago, it
I
didn't work
cajole
out.
Eric into singing once in a while Mo, but Mo's not here tonight. And it is a female written song, so it's might be more appropriate for.
Is this like karaoke with your lyrics?
No, it's
sort of.
a
Well,
cappella.
yeah, there's no
It's
music.
acapella.
It's a cappella.
Well, I hope I know the song.
Let's see what it looks like. Oh, there's didn't get that far to the slide. That's special guest appearance by Stephanie Morgan. I use your logo. I hope I'm okay with that. You're okay with
I'm gonna
that.
send you the copyright infringement.
Okay. So here's the song. If it, it's from the If It Makes You Happy song by Sheryl Crow, and instead it's If Wine Makes You Happy.
Oh my goodness, David. You did all this?
Yeah, he
I
does
do it every week.
How
Every
much
week.
time do you have on your hands? My goodness.
He's got a lot of time.
I'm wow.
What do you think? You feel like doing it, or
Yeah, I just don't know the tune.
Oh,
If it makes you happy, that part I remember, but I don't remember the rest of the tune either, though.
Yeah.
can't be that bad.
If
I
wine
can't
makes you
sing.
happy, it can't be
Eric
that
will rescue us.
bad. If wine makes you
Okay.
happy, then why the hell are you so sad?
Yeah.
That's about all I know. And
Yeah.
I've seen Sheryl Crow in concert. So.
I tried getting Sheryl Crow to sing tonight, but she had other arrangements going on.
We'll be out of your price range.
Rude.
Look how pretty she is.
She
I
is
know,
gorgeous.
right?
David, I'm like really impressed by this.
Oh,
Bring
you have
the
seen
Rubicon
nothing
in
yet,
bed.
Stephanie.
Scrape the mold off the bread and serve you French toast again.
Stephanie, he's been doing this since March of 2020, and we've been doing it every week.
Started out every day.
He used to do
Yeah.
it every day when he
every
first
day at the
started.
beginning. It's true.
Wow. This is good, David. This is really good. Yeah, I don't know the tune, so
Okay.
I'm a shot in the dark here. I've been a long way from here. Pull out the wine key and played the wine thieves. Is that it? Nope. And drank till I was sick. How about I just move to the chorus? If wine makes you happy,
There you go.
Hey, it can't be that bad.
it can't be that bad. If wine makes you happy, then why the hell are you so sad? Did I get it? Is that it?
That's
Yeah,
pretty
nailed
good.
it.
Sounds good to us.
All right, cool.
So we don't know. Sometimes the screens don't work, so sometimes we don't do the song. Sometimes we don't do the presentation. I'm not going to go through. I'm not going to read the whole presentation, but I'll show you some pictures of Santa Cruz to go along with. Oh, this is Sharon's page. Let me get this out of the way. So here's the Santa Cruz Mountains AVA, and I've circled through the different locations that we were going to cover. So tonight was Soquel. I'll get it right one of these days. And so we'll go through and we'll do these different parcels of Santa Cruz, and I'll change the color to the circle for the regions we'll be in. This is kind of what Santa Cruz Mountains vineyards look like. It's pretty.
Very much
And you
so.
got, in some places, you've got redwood trees next to grapevines.
Often you have redwood trees next to grapevines. It's quite spectacular.
So California. So I do it. So you did a great job going through this. I'm not going to go through this presentation, but you did a great job of describing your region. I'll just show the pictures. So here's
Stephanie,
another-
do you guys have more acreage now that's planted or still the 3 acres?
We still just have the 3 acres. That is our estate. Everything else is sourced out. Wow, that's a great photo, David. Wonder what vineyard that is.
Be cool.
I don't know. So I steal with passion pictures I can find on the internet. So so there's Stephanie there.
Oh, cool.
And
And
so
the vineyard dog.
Yeah, we have a vineyard dog. Her name is Daisy.
so this is John here, I take it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my
Okay.
dad.
Your dad. Cool. I think I've met your mom. I don't think I've met your dad before.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
Stephanie, do you know Jared from Silver Mountain?
I don't know.
Actually, he's the owner and winemaker.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
I
have to
know
check
him.
out. I got to get out and taste and get around town a little bit more. I've been kind of hunkered in at just our estate that I haven't done my due diligence and explored the appellation quite as much.
And then Santa Cruz
That's the boardwalk.
Boardwalk. So this is not that far from where you are, right? This is
No, that's only about, I don't know, about 7 or 8 miles kind of northwest of me right now. Yeah, it's not too far. Santa Cruz traffic can be kind of a pain in the butt, so it may take about 20, 30 minutes to get down there. But we Soquelians, Aptosians, tend to stay away from the west side of Santa Cruz like the plague because it's the most touristy destinations.
Right. Yeah. Actually, Sue was just up in the Santa Cruz Mountains. She was on a women's retreat at Mount Hermon
Oh, very cool.
with our church ladies.
That's an awesome spot.
It is. So this is Bargetto. And
That looks neat.
So there's a
Yeah.
really fun story about Bargetto and the Beauregards, which are another prominent winemaking family here. They're old Santa Cruz families. And the Bargettos were during Prohibition, they were police officers, a lot of them. And the Beauregards were running a speakeasy. And so the Bargettos arrested the Beauregards for selling illegal wine and or serving illegal wine. And today they are competing competitors in the wine market. So all comes full circle.
Like the pickup truck too. That's cool.
It's
yeah,
super cool. Yeah, that is an awesome tasting room. So if you ever go to Bargetto's or Soquel Vineyards, we're on the same road. So we're only about 3.5 miles away from each other on the same peak. So they're at the bottom of the hill. And we are located at about 900 feet elevation. So we're just 3 miles up. You can do those two in that same day. It's a fun little adventure.
Well,
Maybe.
if you need to grow any more grapes, we're at 1,050 elevation, and we have a 7-acre plus field behind our house.
In Ohio?
Yeah.
Good for some
like
ice
it.
wine, maybe.
Fortunately,
they
it never freezes.
grow grapes up at Lake Erie area, a lot up there.
Yeah.
I mean, they grow grapes around here too, but more south of us. But
Okay.
yeah.
More up towards New York,
Sure.
Well, Lake Erie.
Lake Erie, New York.
Oh, yeah. No, there's ABAs all over Ohio. So
Yeah.
yeah.
They grow wine everywhere. Or wine grapes.
And the more beach boardwalk. And then Santa Cruz Mountain Vineyards.
I'm always looking at the labels because we go and we study at the stores trying to find the wines, and it helps to see the labels to spot them a little bit easier. I mean, we're always looking at the back of it to see where it's from, and
Ohio has some different strict laws for shipping wines in.
They probably know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had to deal with that before.
This Santa Cruz Mountain Vineyard, this second to our property, this is one of my most favorite producers of the Santa Cruz Mountain. It's currently owned and ran by a guy named Jeff Emery. He is the second owner of it. The founder, I'm blanking on his name, but they've always really believed in this idea. David talks about it here a little bit, of just these really old world, very food friendly, unique wines for California. He's kind of one of those guys where, like, he's made his money. He just really wants people to drink and enjoy very good wine. And so his wines are generally very affordable. But they're often just completely delicious, very honestly made, and often really unique varietals, because he has the Quinta Cruz label, which is his passion project, which is all Portuguese and Spanish varietals there. And they're very, very affordable. They're very delicious. And if you go to his tasting room downtown Santa Cruz, or on the west side of Santa Cruz, chances are you'll run into him, and he'll talk your ear off about wine and how to make it and what's going on. And he's one of those really scientific, passionate guys where you may not catch anything he's saying because he's so technical and really educated. But just hearing his passion and talk about the wines is so refreshing.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that was all the slides I had for. So next week, March 25th, we're still in Santa Cruz. As I said, we're in 11 weeks in Santa Cruz Mountains, and we're going to cover Sharon and Eric's neighborhood, Los Gatos, and then Saratoga and Cupertino. So you can imagine which wineries we're going to be covering, especially the Cupertino one. Well, actually, Testarossa is over here too. So that's it for the presentation side.
I have a question for Stephanie.
Yeah.
So Stephanie, is there a good place to look for the Santa Cruz wines locally? I mean, we've had trouble finding them. And so I was looking at, even in Santa Cruz, what wine shops might have wines.
There's 3 places I can think of, at least in town here in Santa Cruz.
Okay.
One of them is Shoppers Corner Market.
Okay.
Incredible market, also owned by the Beauregards, oddly enough. The wine buyer there, Raquel, really, really specializes in local stuff. And then she also has a lot of other things. So if you want, a Bordeaux or a Southern Rhone or something, she often has them. But it's just an exceptional market. Go pick up some incredible steaks, great produce, and some really great local wines. So they're top on my list. Deluxe Foods has also a really good selection.
What was that again?
Deluxe Foods.
Okay.
They're over in Aptos, kind of near Seascape, a little bit, or closer to Seascape in Rio Del Mar. And then just next door, same parking lot, directly next door to Deluxe, is a wine and spirit shop called Deer Park Liquors. And they carry a lot of more specialty, high-end local stuff. We distribute some of our more premium Pinots to them. And so I know he's got a good selection of stuff there too. Other than that, it is really hard to find Santa Cruz Mountain wines, at least our coastal side of Santa Cruz, in shops anywhere else. We've been trying, for our business, we've been really pushing to get into Los Gatos and some of the Santa Clara County, San Jose area marketplaces. It's been really difficult. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I don't know if they like their side of the mountain wineries better, or if people aren't just looking for Pinots or locals or whatever it is. But it's been kind of a challenge. It's interesting.
Question for you, since we're in Ohio, would any of these places ship to Ohio?
I think we might ship to Ohio. I'm gonna have to double check on that right now. Ohio David, you'd probably know just as well as I would, probably more. Ohio is, I think, one of those funny states where, like, you either have to make like under 5,000 cases or over like 100,000 cases.
Yeah, I don't remember the rule for, everyone's got their own, but
Yeah. Because Inglenook doesn't does Inglenook ship to
we
Ohio?
can again. Yeah, there we couldn't, then we could, then we couldn't, now we can again.
We
Can you
need,
ship to Florida?
I can ship to Florida.
Nobody
Okay.
ships to Florida.
Floridians
David,
love their
I
wine.
get it directly from David, or a lot of things are at wine.com, but our Ohio warehouse is just bare. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't even know. Every time I go to look, it says, it's out of stock. So that was when I was going through these, I went through every one of these wineries that David listed, and they were all out of stock.
Yeah. It looks like right now I can ship to Ohio.
You
So
can't?
I can't. Yes, I can. I'm going to drop my contact in the notes here for you guys. If you guys are ever coming to Santa Cruz or you want to buy wine, or not the notes, where is it? The chat. I haven't used Zoomed in a while.
You guys know how to check that. We never do use chat. So if you're familiar, there's the button at the bottom says chat. She's going to write in there and you can
Okay.
take a
Sharon
screenshot,
and
I guess.
Yeah, so I'll drop my email and my phone number. And if anybody's in
Oh, I
town
should have
and
put
they
that
wanna
on there.
come up to the winery, please reach out to me. We're technically only open on. What'd you say?
Hey,
Dave?
I want to come.
Thank you.
Take a field trip down there.
Yeah,
Where's
good
that?
plan.
You can
Can we
stop
stay
at
at your
our
house?
house. You can
You
stop
stop
at
at
our
Sharon
house.
Eric's. Pick you up and go.
After tax season. Right.
There
Yes,
you go.
after tax
Yeah,
season.
just call to make sure I'm not home.
We're gonna find you. We'll go down to your office and knock on the door.
I should have gotten that from you, Stephanie, so I could have put it on my presentation, but that's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, if anybody's in town, reach out to me. We're technically only open on the weekdays or the weekends, but I'm up there on the weekdays, so I'm happy to open up some wine for you guys. Do a field trip and we'll make a day of it. It'll be fun. Or yeah, if you need wine shipped or something, you can just shoot me an email and we can get that to you too. We'll give you guys a nice discount on things too.
We like
Thank you.
discounts.
We do too, yeah.
Just to get the discount.
And you know what? Our wines are way more affordable than Napa wines, so it's pretty great that way.
Yeah, because some of us are retired and don't have an income.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
never
yet
know
have
when-
a house on each coast and flies back and forth.
I don't have an income.
yeah, but if you sell one of the houses, or actually, if you rent one of the houses, then you'd have an income.
That's what I'm working on.
Good luck.
Renting?
Yeah,
To our kids.
trying to rent the house for your kids.
No, rooms.
Ah,
I got some, we're in the middle of, that's why this whole house behind me is all construction. We're just doing everything right now. So now the whole
We're-
down, I'm gonna rent
Stephanie,
down the whole downstairs to be rented out.
We're planning our second cow barn stay in June, I guess we're coming.
June.
Oh,
So we're
fun.
doing a
Are we
Napa.
still recording?
Yeah, but we're not talking about it. Nope,
Oh.
don't worry about it.
Well, you just said the C word.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Huh?
Well, if Facebook and YouTube don't have a problem with it, I guess it's okay. I did say that, and I've told you not to use that.
You
Shame
did.
on me.
You did. Okay for you.
Bad.
Okay for you, but not for us.
Thank goodness no one listens to, no one watches.
Fan base.
We could do like a secret code and just say moo building.
CB.
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 So that's later that's in a few months.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It'll be great. I miss it up there. I was just in Napa this last week for Danny's birthday.
They told me you were there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. I know I missed you.
I'm down to only working maybe one day a week.
That's nice.
He's too busy to work.
Writing
No work.
songs,
No
getting
work,
And
no work.
you have no idea. I've got so many songs written already that are just waiting to be put on the screen here. It's crazy.
So I want to say that particular song you picked tonight is a very difficult song to sing, which is
Yeah,
unusual for a Sheryl Crow song because hers are usually so straightforward, rock and roll. But that song is, difficult, also depressing too. But
Yeah. You said that about another song I had, which I not being a singer, I didn't think was that hard, but you said it was very difficult too, and
yeah, no, this one, because it's the main part of the song is one sort of method thing, and
Oh,
how she's singing it. Then the refrain is the chorus is different. It's sort of a hard, comes in hard and starts. So she starts slow,
I don't know
slow,
what
and then she starts
I don't
hitting it
remember.
hard.
I don't remember what next week is, but we're going to come up with a couple of really fun ones coming up.
Oh,
David, you guys used to do a game with this thing too, right?
Yeah, we haven't done
Yeah,
that in a
we
long
did.
time.
The wine snob game, yeah.
Yeah.
it was a lot of
We
fun.
haven't done that. We might do that. I made a mistake on our schedule. So where is it?
Oh, and yeah,
Not till
Yeah.
June.
It's always this.
They're in my folder.
I have June 10th. I thought we were going to be doing something else. So maybe we'll do game night that night.
Stephanie,
Well,
this
you
is
have to
my
let us
folder
know because you've
of
cut us
everything.
so short in these
given
meetings
us.
now. We don't have time for the game.
I reprint every change that he makes, and
Oh yeah.
Oh.
it's an inch
How
thick.
big is your binder now?
it's that.
Here's the schedule.
This thick.
Yeah.
I'm so
So,
unorganized. Half my papers
Yeah.
are in
After Santa
Florida.
Cruz, we're going to Monterey County AVA.
Love that.
And then and then Paso Robles after that. We start Paso Robles on September 9th.
David, you need to like market this as like a class or something because all of this information is like such an incredible wealth of knowledge.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
you are an incredible wealth of knowledge, but
Yes.
Well, we used to reiterate it on the game, and so it's like you really kind of had to pay more attention. So when because then they would come back in the game, and you'd have to be able to get the answers to the game.
Yeah, we did. So we did wine for like a year or year and a half, and then we did spirits, and then we did
Yeah.
beer,
And
cider,
sake.
Sake,
My
cider,
favorite was sake.
Cider.
Sake sucks.
And now
and then
you
we
know
came
that
so-
because you're educated in it. I love it.
Yeah. She knows that all 16 different versions of sake we had are not to her palate.
None of them.
None to mine either.
No, there was a lot of them that got dumped down the drain.
That's
The beer kind of sucked.
The beer I can do. I'm a cheap date, wine and beer. So
I like the spirits.
yeah.
Those were actually a good education for me too, doing especially the beer and the sake, because I knew about this much about beer and about this much about sake, so it was quite an education for me too to
even
get
the
all this
spirit,
stuff.
so that was a lot of fun, and Jenny knew a lot.
Yeah.
So she was a lot of help on
Yeah,
this.
she was.
So those all became categories on the wine snob game. So we have the beer and spirits. We've got sake, and we got cocktails and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, how wonderful.
There's a Trivial Pursuit version out of the wine snob game. It's gonna be great.
You'd have patent it.
Who's going to make millions?
Yeah,
So do
you can retire.
I can retire. Wait, I
We
thought I
have to pay off
did.
the copyright infringement for the Soquel wine.
Oh yeah.
Sponsor it. Yeah.
Pay off the lawsuit, right? You could, if you want to join us on June 10th, then we'll play the wine snob game.
Let me put it in my calendar right now. I think I might be out of town, but I'm gonna plan on
Well,
it.
the nice thing about the internet, it's just about everywhere.
Really? You mean it?
I've heard this. I've
Real
heard this.
for true?
Yeah. In fact,
We
April
joined from
8th
Florida when we were on vacation.
April 8th, I'll be up
Yeah,
and
at my
visiting my
house.
granddaughter in Washington. So
Yeah,
and then in
and we were in,
May,
Yeah.
oh,
David, did you say join us on June 10th?
Yeah.
What are we doing on June 10th?
The
game
game.
night,
What?
What?
Oh,
We're tasting wine.
It's a free for
tasting
all.
wine.
It says here on an adventure, possible
Yeah.
reunion
Yeah.
date.
Yeah,
Change
that's
of
because I
plans.
made a mistake. I made a mistake.
Oh,
So
no.
we
I
We
hate when
went
you
there,
make
we went there
mistakes.
the night we crossed that out and said we're gonna do choose any wine,
Use any wine?
Okay.
any wine.
Any
Pick
wine.
your favorite.
So in
Pick
August,
your favorite.
We'll all be in compliance.
yeah. So in
Well,
August,
everyone
I'll
will
be
be
there in
different.
Ohio.
Yes, you will.
yep.
Yep.
We'll have a ball.
And June, where is it?
June 17th, are you guys still on your adventure?
Oh yeah, we're camping. So we're
No internet.
yeah, we're actually camping up in Mendocino.
Yeah.
Fun.
So there may be 5G up there. We're outside the town of Mendocino
This one.
at a camp.
Don't we have that down at Wine Rock?
What?
She's showing me a wine list.
July 15th, Jay Lore. I think they have that down at the Wine Rack down in New Philly. I'm gonna have to check with them. I really haven't bought it ahead, but
Oh yeah, dude. I think
Are we doing Livermore?
I don't
I don't
know.
know. Oh, I'm that night that I was able to get some of these things from wine.com. I'm doing Zabella Vineyards that day.
well, I think we'll have a better cherry here
Well,
July 1st. That
you
Mare
know-
Soleil Camus silver.
Uh-huh.
I bought that a long time ago. My brother-in-law's girlfriend loves that silver. And so I bought a bottle for her and we shared it. And then I bought another bottle when the Wine Rack had it. And we haven't drank that yet. So, well, we have that one for July 1st. So I'm excited.
When we do the
It's always good to
when we-
find one.
when we do the Arroyo Seco, it actually should be very easy to find because Wente sources a lot of their fruit from Arroyo Seco. I think the
What
winery's
date?
not there, but that's July 15th.
July 15th.
Oh, okay. Well, the Wente, we've already had that for another area. So, but J. Lore, I'm pretty sure that I've had that down there at the Wine Rack. So
Okay.
I'll be able to get those. I know Monterey was a lot easier than Santa Cruz. So
It is.
Isn't Wente in Livermore?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
but they have a huge
They get
estate
grapes.
vineyards in Arroyo Seco.
Okay.
They have huge amount of vineyards there.
Huge.
Oh, we're gonna do
Huge.
Bernardus. Yay.
Love Bernard.
What was
Oh,
that
you
one
know
you-
what else is in Carmel Valley? Cowgirl Winery.
But yeah.
Remember?
Carmi Valley, the June 24th?
Yeah,
What did you say that they have?
called Cowgirl,
Cowgirl.
Is it
Okay.
called Cowgirl?
Yeah.
Cowgirl Winery?
because that's where we have pictures of Cade when he was 3 in.
People donate cowboy boots to them.
It's
Put 'em up
great
on
to
the
know
board.
these other, wineries. I mean, David lists some of the more popular ones, I guess, but then sometimes you still can't
I don't
find
know.
them.
Sometimes it's difficult to make a list, and making sure that the winery or their vineyards are in the regions we're covering.
Yeah.
And there's it's the information is not really clear in a lot of these. Go to the winery's website, and I thought it was in that vineyard, that region, and it's not. So it's kind of weird.
I feel like a lot of these Central Coast AVAs are sourcing from other neighboring Central Coast AVA. Like Testarossa,
Yeah.
for example, is in Saratoga, but they make mostly Santa Lucia wines.
Right.
It's very, it's,
They're in Los Gatos.
They're in Los Gatos.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
In Los Gatos.
And
But-
Yeah.
funny that you say that, Stephanie, because I was looking at July 1st where it says Santa Lucia Highlands, and I was going to say that's where Testarossa does one of their Chardonnays.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
So that AVA should be very easy to find because it's a very, very popular source of fruit there. Getting anything that says Gary's Vineyards, there's about 25 different wineries that uses fruit from Gary's Vineyard.
And doctors.
So-
There's a lot of doctors vineyard out there too.
I'm actually I got a wine from Han family for that night.
Yeah. Talbot too. Talbot is from that appellation. They're easy to find. You know, some of their
Oh yeah, that's good.
their Kaylee Hart is fine, but it's easy to find everywhere. Their higher end stuff is like I think it's really, really good. It's a little pricey, but very good.
Is this which AVA is that?
Santa Lucia.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't realize Talbot was from there.
David, tell me, you're going to touch on this in a different one. Is Santa Lucia sub AVA in Monterey County?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should know
Yeah.
that.
You do know that.
Maybe you asked the question.
It's been a while. It's been
You
a
were
while.
you were just testing David, I know.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. It's
that's
been a while
fine.
since David and I
There's-
have been able to go back and forth on our wine knowledge.
I think earlier, did you mention Beauregard Vineyards?
Yeah.
So he's got those down May 20th, Ben Lamont, Mountain AVA. But
Yeah.
is it near you or something then too?
It's closer to me. Yeah, it's about, I don't know how many miles it is. It's about to get to the Ben Lomond Mountain AVA. It's funny, Ben Lomond Mountain and Ben Lomond, the town, are not close at all. Because Ben Lomond Mountain appellation is mostly the town of Bonnie Doon, and Bonnie Doon Winery is rather famous, and before he sold it, Randall Graham. But it's closer to us. It's probably about a 30-minute drive from where I am to get up into that region. But the Beauregard Winery is the most prominent winery up there. They've been around forever. Good friends of ours. They make great wines, really great wines.
I think I'd be able to find that here.
Yeah. Yeah, they do some good stuff. Their Pinots are really excellent. If you find a Pinot from the Coast Grade Vineyard, that's the best, I think.
Well, that night I'll be drinking a Soquel Pinot that you sent me from Ben Lomond.
Is it the Coast Grade Vineyard one?
I don't know. Let's look. Let's see. That is May 20th. It is the Coast Grade. Yes,
Oh, good.
it is.
It's
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So the game night's on June 10th, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be in Nashville.
So I want to show you guys what came up on my phone.
It's okay. They have internet in Nashville.
I want to show you what came up on my phone as we're sitting here talking about.
Gotta get it closer.
Can you
What?
see that?
Who is
Oh.
that?
Who is that?
I don't know if you can, you can't see it. It says Santa Lucia Highlands Wine Artisans.
Oh,
Oh,
No, that's creepy. We were just talking about Santa Lucia.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
Listening.
Oh,
It's
yeah, they
listening.
listening.
They're
Yeah.
listening to us.
that's what's his name said today.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, wine.com. Really fill up your Ohio warehouse from, let's see, I need Santa Cruz Mountain AVAs. Oh, okay. Hopefully they'll hear me. Oh.
If you have ring, they'll hear you.
Cases and cases and cases.
Yep, cases and cases.
Oh, this has piqued my interest. These are some good wines we
Thank
need.
you.
So for a
Guys,
future
you
note,
gotta-
we
you
will
gotta-
not be
you
covering
gotta-
Temecula in this series.
Why
What's
not?
that?
Because everyone that lives in San Diego tells me that their wines suck.
We've even been wine tasting there.
Have you ever heard somebody say their wine is good?
No.
I haven't either. I just
Yeah.
wanted to know.
Yes, the owner of Testarossa thinks his wine is a gift from God, so his ego is unbelievable, so.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, but that's why we have to join the wine.
he's got a cool winery.
Yeah.
They did a lot of construction to make it, so they have more people that can be there.
I've never been there either.
It's just right up the street from our house. I guess we'll have to have a field
I think
trip
I
to
passed
Los
it.
Gatos.
I passed it. Don't you pass when you're on 9? Don't you pass by really close to it? No. Maybe
No,
not.
it's in Los Gatos in the
It's
mountains.
in Los Gatos. It used to be,
Novitiate.
The novitiate. I have a novitiate in mine, actually.
Yeah.
I have a novitiate port too, so I mean they're very, very,
Very old.
old. But a
I've
friend of
been to
mine
all our
was a
local
brother
wineries.
there. He lived at the novitiate.
Well,
We used to with these other friends of ours. Ohio has what they call SIP magazine, and in the middle of the magazine is a map with all the wineries and the different AVAs. And so I would make a
Field trip.
Yeah, we'd go on a field trip and we'd go to 4 or 5 different wineries to taste. And we had a blast. We were gone like all day kind of thing. And it was a lot of fun. But those friends are now in Florida. So it's just Scott and I, but we still go to the wineries every now and then and do some tasting.
When I come, can we go?
Yes.
Do
Yes.
whatever you want to do.
Okay.
You know, when you come that weekend, it's just crazy in Stark County because it's the Hall of Fame weekend.
We'll go south.
And yeah, I mean, other than Carrie Underwood, and there's a couple other things that we want to do with you here, but yeah, we'll go south. It won't be as crazy.
That whole thing, when that Hall of Fame comes here, it's crazy.
The hotels are packed,
I mean,
and yeah, it's the Hall of Fame, football Hall of Fame.
Indoctrination.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's
I'm gonna take us off of
Okay.
YouTube. So we'll say goodnight to YouTube
Bye.
and thank
Bye,
you,
YouTube.
Good night, all you
Morgan,
followers.
for
We're
joining
not going to
us.
talk about you while you're gone, YouTube.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will.
So thank you, Stephanie. You can stick around if you want to.
I'm going to. I still have a half a glass of wine here. I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Kidding me?
I'm waiting till Easter to have mine, so I'm going to turn us off.